What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, like I said before, um, these Hall of Fame voters, when it comes to all of these damn sports, are full of shit. Okay. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Hall of Fame doesn't actually release officially the results of who gets inducted and who missed the cut. I think it's January 25th or sometime around that time. So we won't know until next month. But they began voting, the Hall of Fame voters. They began voting this month. And I believe they have until December 29th to certify their results. Now, I think it's like 400, 500 voters altogether. But a small sample size of them have already come out and revealed how they voted. And a massive majority of them have voted for David Ortiz. Of all of the people who have actually um, revealed how they voted, 83% of them voted for David Ortiz. Now remember, the minimum to be inducted is 75%. So he's already well above that. Now it's still a small sample size, but I think he's going to get in. Now look, me personally, I do believe David Ortiz is a Hall of Famer. One of the greatest clutch hitters I've ever seen in my life, especially in postseason history. What, three World Series rings, or at least three, multiple time All Star. I can't remember how many hits he had. He didn't have 3,000. Might have had 25, 2,600 hits. I can't remember. But 541 home runs. In my opinion, he's the greatest designated hitter the game has ever seen. Some people will say it's Edgar Martinez. I give the nod to David Ortiz. All right. It used to be Edgar Martinez, now it's David Ortiz. So I'm not knocking that. But what I'm knocking is the hypocrisy of the voters. Now, supposedly, you're keeping Barry Bonds and you're keeping Roger Clemens out of the Hall of Fame, right? You're keeping them out of the Hall of Fame because you suspect that they took steroids, right? Suspect. But they've never actually been proven to have taken steroids, but you suspect it. Yet, David Ortiz tested positive for steroids, and this was revealed during the Mitchell report that uh, congressionally approved, uh, really congressionally appointed uh, investigation into the Major League Baseball, headed by former Senator, United States Senator George Mitchell. And this was a massive, intricate uh, investigation into Major League Baseball. And David Ortiz's name popped up on that. All right, he took steroids. It's not suspicion. He took them, but you're voting him in. And why is that? Is it because he was media accessible and friendly? Is it because you liked him, right? And you don't like Barry Bonds? You didn't like Roger Clemens? You didn't like Pete Rose? I know it's funny that a lot of these people who don't get in, they claim it's for other reasons, but yet they also don't usually, it's a correlation. There's always this correlation between, you know, the people who they say aren't Hall of Famers or shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame for something, and then they don't like the media. Now you could say, well, Mike, maybe it's because they don't like the media because the media said they aren't Hall of Famers for da da da. No, Barry Bonds didn't get along with the media from the get go. His father Bobby used to warn him about them. His rookie year in baseball, when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates back in '86, Bobby Bonds got on him because he noticed starting in spring training, Barry was talking to these motherfuckers. And Bobby pulled him to the side and said, look, um, they're not your friends. They're not your friends. Stop talking to them like this. Stop being so friendly and intimate with them because they're waiting for you to say something that they can take out of context and make a good story out of. So he started pulling back from them, and then he started seeing what his father was talking about. Roger Clemens was very prickly. I mean, he was respected by the media, but he didn't like they didn't like him. He could be nasty. Pete Rose could be nasty, but the ones they like, the ones who are media accessible and friendly, they turn the other way on that. So you explain to me how you vote in a steroid cheat and David Ortiz, who when he was playing with the Minnesota Twins showed no real uh, power. When he was with the Minnesota Twins before he was with the Red Sox, I don't remember David Ortiz hitting 50, 40, 50 home runs, maybe 15, maybe 18, maybe 20. I don't even know if he hit 20. But then all of a sudden he went around that time, early 2000s, all of a sudden he started hitting for power. But he's Hall of Famer because you like him. Fuck these people, man. It's just at this point, man. I have very little respect for these people, man. How in the fuck can you not keep somebody? You keep someone out of the Hall of Fame because you want to uphold this magical fake ass standard, and then you vote in a steroid cheat. Not to mention, I'm not as certain about Alex Rodriguez, but I wouldn't be surprised if they voted him in. He might miss the cut. They might punish him for a year because I think he failed twice, so they might feel like they gotta hold him back. But I guarantee you, Alex Rodriguez eventually gets to the Hall of Fame. If it's not this year, probably next year or the year after that. But meanwhile, Barry Bonds and Robert Clemens are going to drop off the ballot, and then they're going to have to wait for the Veterans Committee, which I believe is going to be another fucking 15 years. And they meet every 4 years, so this 2021, 2000, they're going to have to wait till like 2036 or something. And by that time, Barry's going to be, what, 7? How would Barry be then? 2036. 72? Jesus Christ, man. This is a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke that they're voting for motherfuckers like, I'm looking at some of the people they're voting for. Scott Rowland? Todd Helton? Todd Helton was a good player. He's not a fucking Hall of Famer. But then you got the Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbars of Major League Baseball not in the Hall of Fame. You got Pete Rose, who's fucking, I mean, come on, man. You got Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, not in the Hall of Fame. You got all of these womenizers and wife beaters and racists and Ku Klux Klan grand wizards, all these motherfuckers with plaques immortalized in the Hall of Fame. But you got two people not in the Hall of Fame because, uh, ostensibly because they're cheats, but really because you couldn't stand them. So that's the punishment because they didn't kiss the royal media's ass. And you want to know why I know the proof and the pudding as to why they hold grudges? Is because they won't vote Kurt Schilling in because they don't like his politics. What the fuck that got to do with anything? They won't vote for Kurt Schilling because most of them are left leaning. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not supposed to take his political philosophy and his rantings and hold it against him. Because I got a strong suspicion if Kurt Schilling was an extreme left wing motherfucker, that wouldn't matter. That he'd be voted in. You're not gonna vote Kurt Schilling in But you're gonna vote for Scott Rowland and Todd Helton? Kiss my ass, man. And then I'm not knocking Buck O'Neil. Nice man. May he rest in peace. He passed away back in 2006. Negro League player. But nobody will convince me that Buck O'Neil was better than Dick Allen. Not going to do it. No. Mm-mm. You see, Buck O'Neil, and I hate to talk like this because he's a nice man. And I mean this with all sincerity, and it's not a knock on him. But Buck O'Neil one time said in an interview when they asked him about Ty Cobb, right? You know, they wanted to see how he reacted to that. He said, you can probably see it on YouTube. Ty Cobb. Well, Ty Cobb was mean with everybody. Ty Cobb didn't just hate, black people. Oh, no, yes, sir, no, sir. He hated all peoples. See, I like the cut of his jib. See, I like the way this one thinks. He doesn't hold against him. See, he's inclusive in his hate. Inclusivity. I'm going to vote for him when he dies. Dick Allen, in his prime at least, would have called it what it is. Ty Cobb was a racist piece of shit. I don't like this one. He's too militant. I don't like this one. But he was a 7-time All-Star, MVP. Hit 40 home runs. A great power hitter of his era. I don't give a damn. So I don't know. It is what it is, man. These Hall of Fames are shams now, anyway. They let anybody in now. They let clowns in and keep. It just all it does to me, honestly. To be honest, it just all it does is sort of delegitimize the process in the Hall of Fame. When you start keep putting in like mediocre people, and I'm gonna say names. I'm gonna say names. When you start letting in the Bill Mazeroskis and the Jim Rices, no, don't get me wrong, he was a good player, but he's not a fucking Hall of Famer. When you let in the Larry Walkers, he's not a fucking Hall of Famer. He benefited so much from playing at Coors Field. Look at his fucking away numbers versus his at home numbers. When you keep letting in guys like this, but the real actual great all time players that aren't in because of, well, I suspect he used steroids. Uh, he violated rules. He cheated the game by gambling. Man, get out of here, man. The average fan don't give a fuck about that no more. So it is what it is, man. Tell me what you guys think.